Hi everybody. Okay, let's do take two. My first video didn't have the sound on, so hopefully you can all hear this one. All right, have a wacky Wednesday. Today we are going to do two things. I want you to take notes with this video and then submit them on Google Classroom. The answer to the EQ is one simple sentence. Don't write me any more than one sentence. And include that with your notes. And then second, you're going to do IXL Math 7. Please note that it's Math 7. There we go, Math 7, O20, and that's on parallel lines cut by a transversal, which is what we're doing today. All right, take out your notebooks, let's roll. All right, today we are doing angles formed when parallel lines are cut by a transversal. Feel free to abbreviate some of that. You can write angles like that, angle with an S in it. Sorry about the wordy title, but that's what it is. Okay, remember, pause anytime you need to. I'm gonna go do this fast. Okay, your central question, also wordy, sorry. Which three types of angle pair relationships can be used to find missing angle measurements when you have parallel lines cut by a transversal? All right, let's talk about a little bit with definitions. Parallel lines is something that should be a familiar term to all of you, and they're lines in the same plane that don't intersect. So the black or gray lines that you see below, those lines are parallel. Sometimes we use a little symbol like this to show that their lines are parallel. And then the red line is a transversal. And a transversal is just a line that cuts across other lines, so a line that crosses other lines. And you'll notice when you've got a transversal crossing parallel lines, you end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 angles formed. Those are the angles we're going to take a look at today. Their measures form a pattern, and we're going to take a look at that pattern. Okay, we do have one more type of angle pair to look at, and that is corresponding angles. This is the last angle pair we're going to absolutely need in order to be able to find missing angles in these cases. So the corresponding angles are angles in matching positions, and their measures are congruent. So for example, if we take angle 1 right here, we notice this is at the top left of these four angles, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's look down at the second set of angles, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Which one is also in the top left? Yep, angle 5. So we say these are corresponding angles. And so we're going to go ahead and list those. So angle 1 is congruent to angle 5 because corresponding angles are congruent, so their measures are the same. It's like you are doing a translation, really. It's like you're taking angle 1 and just sliding it down the transversal, and it lands in the position where angle 5 is. Those match one right over the other. If we were in class, we would have done an activity like that. Anyway, let's try another pair of corresponding angles. So let's take a look at angle 2. So which angle is in this top right position when you look at 5, 6, 7, and 8? Yep, angle 6. So let's list down that since angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles, we know that angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. Remember this little symbol I'm using in the middle with equals with a wavy sign over it means congruent. It means they have the same measure. All right, change colors again. Let's try green. If we do angle 3, that's at the lower left. So which angle from below is also in the lower left? Yep, angle 7. So since angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding, what is that doing? We know that angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. Again, it's like you just slid it right down the transversal. And then the last one, let's go with a blue. So angle 4 is in the lower right. Is in the lower right, and so then angle 8 is also in the lower right. So that means that angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding angles, which means they are congruent to each other. Okay. All right, so there are three kinds of angle pairs that we're going to use in order to find missing angles in when we have parallel lines cut by a transversal. And they are vertical, supplementary, and corresponding. Okay? Those are the three that we're going to be using. Hint, hint, there's the answer to your EQ. All right, so telling us that the measure of angle 1 is 60. Let's write that in. So now this is like a puzzle. I know that if angle 1 is 60 degrees, then I could fill in angle 4 because angle 1 and 4 are vertical to each other. And that means angle 4 also has a measure of 60 degrees. I'm going to slide down to angle 5. So angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. And I know that corresponding angles are also congruent. So that means angle 5 is 60 degrees. Now I'm going to jump over to angle 8. So angle 5 and angle 8 are vertical angles, and that means they're also congruent. So that's 60 degrees. So far we have 4 angles that are all 60 degrees. Now I'm going to go back and find angle 2. I can see that angle 1 and angle 2, their outside sides form a straight line. So I know these two angles are supplementary. So I'm going to do a quick equation. So 60 plus angle 2 equals 180. If I solve for angle 2, I end up getting 120. So now I know angle 2 is 120 degrees. All right, from there, everything's really easy. So angle 2 is vertical to angle 3. So I know they are congruent. This is 120 degrees. If I use corresponding angles, I can jump from angle 3 down to angle 7. And that's also going to be 120 degrees because corresponding angles are congruent. And now I can jump from angle 7 over to angle 6. And angle 6 is 120 degrees. There's more than one way to start filling some of these in. The more you find out, the more ways you have to fill in the missing blanks. So that's just one approach, but you're going to end up with the same result either way. Take a look at those top 4 angles. The bottom 4 angles, match them exactly. So you've got 4 angles that are 60 degrees and you've got 4 angles that are 120 degrees. You're going to get this kind of pattern every time where 4 of the angles will have one measurement and the other 4 will have a second measurement. All right, let's try another one. So let's go ahead and fill in all the missing angle measures. I forgot to take that out. So if this is 67 degrees, then let's go to the angle that is vertical to it, which would be right here. That means this is 67 degrees. Okay, next I'm going to do some more easy ones. I'm going to go to this angle, which is corresponding to this angle. And so I know that this is also 67 degrees. Now I'm going to fill in this angle because it's vertical to this one. So that means this is 67 degrees. So now we have 4 angles that are 67 degrees. Now I'm going to pick this one. So I know, I'm going to call this one X. I know that since the outside sides make 180 degrees, they make a straight line here. I know that 67 plus X equals 180. Those are supplementary angles. That's why they add to 180. Subtract the 67. I get X equals 113. So this angle is 113 degrees. Now we go over, I'm going to get the vertical angle. This angle is vertical to it, so this is also 113 degrees. Now I'm going to go from here down to this one. This is also 113 degrees because they're corresponding angles. This angle and this angle are corresponding. I'm going to use corresponding over here too. So this angle up here at the top corresponds to this angle down the bottom right, top right of the bottom pair. So that's also 113. So again, I could have used vertical angles or corresponding. The more you fill in, the more ways you have to fill in. And last one, if this is 76 degrees, whoops, ooh, why is that there? If this is 76 degrees, I'm going to go for the vertical angle, which is here. That's 76 degrees. If this is this bottom right one that was already filled in is 76, then this angle corresponds to it. This is 76 degrees. This angle right here is vertical to this one. So this is 76 degrees. Let's say I'm going to fill this one in now. So those two angles together form a straight line. All right, we've got 76 plus x equals 180. That means those two angles are supplementary. Subtract your 76. You get x equals 104. So 104 degrees for this one. And then this angle's vertical to that. So that's 104 degrees also. And then this angle is corresponding to this one. So this is 104 degrees also. And then this angle is vertical to this one, so 104 degrees also. So it's kind of fun. There are lots of ways you can do this. You can start from lots of places after you get going. I mean, getting that second angle measurement. But notice we've got 4 angles that are 76 and 4 angles that are 104. And that the pattern on the top 4 angles is repeated in the bottom 4 angles. Okay, that's it. So make sure you answer